All new this weekend on Netflix is the German-produced action thriller, 60 Minutes. A film that clocks in at just under 90 minutes but has its protagonist under a time constraint to get to his ex's house to be at his daughter's birthday party. If he doesn't get there in an hour or less, he misses the party and loses custody of her completely. One more thing, he's an MMA fighter who has an undercard bout that evening. Men and their scheduling issues at times warrant an eye roll. 60 Minutes does what it is supposed to do really well. It sets up the stress of a man's life and what he must do to provide for the little girl he loves deeply. The film does that in a short and tight time frame. It gets in and gets out with no fat on it. Emilio Sacraia plays Octavio, a man who has quite the day ahead of him. Throughout his pre-fight warm-ups and a drive to the arena, he has a Bluetooth piece in his ear for quick contact with whomever. This all comes into play as the film unfolds. As he is about to walk out into the arena for his match, he gets a phone call from his ex, who says that she is seeking sole custody of their daughter. If he's not there in an hour to work on negotiating a plan moving forward, she moves on without him. Octavio gets up and leaves the arena before the fight begins. It's here that the 60 minutes of 60 Minutes begins as he sets up a timer to get across Berlin. He dodges anything that gets in his way, especially the new subplot of the movie that unfolds. Octavio learns through his manager that some gangster-like characters that they were in business with told Octavio's opponent to lose in the third round so a lot of money could be made. This angers them, and they become his pursuers through the streets of Berlin. There are so many sequences that get under your skin as you watch the movie. This guy is just trying to do what he needs to do to not lose his daughter, but German gangsters don't care. Obviously, with mixed martial arts at the backdrop of all of this, there is a lot of fighting and high adrenaline action in the streets of Berlin, all so that Octavio can get to his daughter in time. What slightly detracts from 60 Minutes are the time constraints. It would be kind of cool to see this movie play out in real time. The film utilizes cool post-production added graphics of a stopwatch counting down and a map of how far he needs to go, layered over shots in the film. One would also assume that the movie takes place during daylight savings time because it gets dark really quickly. It looks like it's noon during the day scenes, but when it cuts to night, it feels like it's 10 p.m. The transition is jarring, because in no way would it get dark that quick in less than an hour. The time jumps make an audience question the movie a bit, but in the end, you let it go because it's, well, a movie. Director Oliver Kienel gets us swept up in the emotion of what Octavio must try and do while also putting the pedal to the floor with the action of it all. There are fight scenes that feel like John Wick movies but don't pack as much of